welcome back to the second quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show. Just in case you're just tuning in, my sidekick here, Andrew.
Good morning.
Boy, that first 15 minutes just flew by. We are at Evangeline Downs. We just won a race. What was it? I'm in to score. And this is Wednesday night at Evangeline Downs. And these are some of the friends of I'm in Racing. And Big Tony is from the New Orleans area. The gentleman in the middle of this picture, and his wife is on the left. And I'm sorry, I can't find the little piece of paper I wrote y'all's names down on. I will find it somewhere, I'm sure. And then another one of our friends from the New Orleans area.
Good morning.
No, this gentleman is a local. I think he's a Cajun Como.
All right.
Yep. Can't think of the names. I'm sorry.
How about
and
these?
Then
you know these?
Some others that were at the races and are in the picture, by the way. Karen and Jim Demmel. Karen is a new friend of Jim's. She's from California, flew in. And I'm going to go ahead and say one of these internet connections.
Met through the internet? Well, sure.
Met through the internet. Happening more and more. Karen, very nice lady. And then, of course, in the I guess you'd call it a pinkish dress in the middle of Jim and BOBBY002. You see, you notice when I talk about a douillon, south of I-10,
that's a douillon.
North of I-10 is douillons, we call them.
Look at them cuffs he's got.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, but that's Bobby. He's a slick operator. And his wife is Miss Linda. Linda, thank you for coming and being with us. Sweet, sweet. That's Suzanne's mama. You remember Suzanne worked for us at Benton Specialties. Now she works for two companies I'm associated with, Timeline Builders and Accurate NDE.
Excellent.
How about that?
And there's the trailer we were talking about
There's the trailer we talked about earlier, and the one that I bought some wine for the owner of it, Kathy and Dale Vidrine, and we washing it down, and it came out so pretty. That's Matthew doing it, and then Big Harry is going to be, now you can start seeing how pretty it is. I didn't get to see it when it was finished, but it was brought back to him safe and sound, and then I got a little gift for him.
There you go.
And then this was the Radio Shack. I needed some batteries for my door openers, and they had them right there at Radio Shack. Those little odds and end type batteries in various, I guess you'd call them electronics, yeah. Did a Mr. Papillon on the left and his young son on the right, and he takes care of his daddy. Mr. Papillon's wife died years ago. I said, what about Early Papillon? He said, that's my cousin. And of course, Early is he's from around Church Point, Lawtell area.
Gotcha.
But you know, he knows Opelousas as well.
Sure. And how about this, boy? Palmetto, Louisiana.
I'm on the way to Natchez and then past there, and I had to stop. I took this from the road with my cell phone. Can you imagine?
That's the Aunt Dewey and Tasso plant that's down there. You know, he kept all those employees even after the original plant had burned.
You remember last year we had a grand opening, and we went down in beautiful facility. I mean, when I say up to date, I'm talking about up to date. Okay, let's move on. And this little church is between, I guess you'd say, by Current and Melville on that nice road now, by the way. And I passed by the plantation that Brandon, June Lowry, Brandon Lowry and June Lowry, the family own a beautiful large plantation there.
Mr. Bubba, the daddy.
Yeah, and this little church, I think, is a Presbyterian church. Mr. J.T. Walton and his family, of course, we know Wendy Sabille. That's who I'm talking about. Patsy is her mama. Boy, they're coming back to me. And then the McNeils, Mr. Mack and Miss Dot, all belong to this beautiful little church here, and as well as when Juliet was there, she also attended, yes. And this is a home I looked at. I was shopping in Natchez. And a beautiful facility, just maybe a little bit more money than I wanted to spend. But you can, if somebody's looking for a nice home, it is first class. It's ready to move in. And I found these two young people here standing outside. It was almost 5 o'clock. That would have been Thursday evening in downtown Main Street, Natchez, Louisiana, right out of Biscuits and Blues, the little restaurant that I always go to. Peter Trosclair, the owner there, and the the young man on the left is Matt, and his wife is Victoria, and they're tailors. They're the tailors out of Bristol, England.
Really?
And she speaks a little French, she speaks a little German, and
you got to know a little of that in
English
Europe.
well. And I think she may teach English.
Okay.
Real nice couple. They have texted me since they left and advised me they're having a blast on their United States tour.
You could understand that English she sent you? It was your kind of English?
Yeah, it was my kind of English. And they're going to be here till June the 16th. They took a real good trip. I mean,
I see he's got a soccer shirt on. You can tell he's from Europe. That's a big sport there.
And
that's their main one.
I don't know. I meet the nicest people. I break the ice, and let's go. So this is the transplant. This lady here.
That's St. Francisville.
No,
that's in Natchez?
That's in Natchez.
That's right.
That's in Natchez. And she didn't come out this time. She generally comes out when I'm taking the pictures. I took this from the car window. She's a transplant from Katrina. A lot of Katrina folks living in, and some staying and some going back, but most, she can't leave right now. She's got too much stuff on in the yard.
To pack it.
Can't pack it all. And this is one of the big homes that I looked at, gorgeous homes. And of course, this is Miss Nancy Durkin. She's handling the real estate on a little house that I purchased. And I want to thank you, Miss Nancy. You're a beautiful person and great assistance. You know, a lot of questions come up. And I had a home there before, but that's been years ago, and they're very strict on regulating the colors. If you're going to change the color of the house you have, or
permission,
you have to go before the board, but that's good. It keeps the values up. We fuss about it, but then we're glad after we did it. And Vicky came by to visit, and this is Mr. L.J. It's a kind of a funny name. What's L.J.'s last name? He's a Cajun from... No. It's... I have it here somewhere. He's originally from Pierreport, and he's a second cousin of Troy Landry, the famous Troy Landry. And he's a painter, and he and his lady friend are the owners of this little house that we're going to show you a couple of pictures on. That's the inside. Those cabinets that you see right there in the back, all of that was built by Peter Trosclair and his father-in-law. That was Peter's second home that I'm looking at right here. And this is another home that I looked at, and we're going to show you. That's the little blue house. And this is Mr. Bert Cowdrey, C-O-W-D-R-E-Y. He worked for the United States government as a historian. First historian I met, very well educated, wrote several nice books, and worked 15 years in Washington, D.C. And, you know, they get into kind of some CIA type, they have to know what's going on, you know, the ins and outs of government. A very interesting person, and we took him to dinner. And he wants to sell his house and move back to New Orleans in one of these retirement homes, but it's independent living. You actually buy the condo. And
that's very common now. You buy the condo, and then you live as long as you go. Then in the end, you can sell it to. Usually, there's a waiting list as to who wants to move in the same facility.
That's what he's going to be doing. So this is Cotton Cafe right there, Cotton Alley Cafe. Very nice. Another nice cafe, real close to Biscuits and Blues. You have a lot of choice. And then Bowie, you know Bowie, the outdoor sporting good store.
Sure.
Well, they own the big store we familiar with in Baton Rouge. A lot of weapons sold there now. That's a big. Well, that's a big thing. Anybody that sells them right here in St. Andrew Lumber is big, huge. Austin did a great job there. And then also Bowie has a place right next to the Grand Hotel, and they have a restaurant and nightclub. So they're there. Now there's a little story with this young lady right here, Miss Millie Young. We were sitting next to each other having lunch, And when they got up, I said, I sure hope we weren't disturbing you in our conversation. And she says, oh, no. And one thing she said, I hope y'all didn't hear what we were talking about. You know, we're all laughing. I said, no, we were busy busy trying to transact some business. She says, I said, where are you from? She says, well, I'm from across the river. She says, I have a home across the river on the Lake St. John, I think they call it. And I said, well, good. She said, well, where are you from? I said, Opelousas. Well, she said, you may know somebody that I know there. How about Stephanie and Mike Morris? Oh, I said, I know them very well. I said, in fact, I bought the first unit when they built their first health club. She said, really? She says, my daughter, Brooke, is marrying Zach, their son.
No kidding.
Now, you talk about getting small. I said, well, what about Jim and Babs Lopez? She says, spent a weekend there just recently. She said,
they're home up in Vicksburg. I mean, correct.
Yeah, so y'all wonder how I do this, I just break in and I back off if she didn't want to talk or anything.
I think Zach just graduated from pharmacy school, I think he just got his diploma. So.
I know he was in it.
Correct.
And we called, well, anyhow, Millie, and she had a friend with her, Tam Corbett, but Tam wouldn't let me take a picture of her.
Look how beautiful the river is.
River is, and here's Vicky and Mr. Burt.
Your old duels in the middle.
Yep, got my old duels. Do you know what? That's the first time I drank an old duel since November the 2nd, 11.
I like them. I think they're fun. I like them.
I'll have to try them.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to drink them when I was being watched because they might send it to the district attorney
and say, look, he had a beer.
Look, he had a beer because it looks like a Heineken.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And you know, everybody got these little cameras. I took that with my cell camera.
Yeah,
they didn't know I was taking the picture.
You snuck up on them.
Checking out of the hotel Sunday, the Grand Hotel in Natchez, Louisiana. I think is the Grand Natchez Hotel. Gwen Cangelosa, and I don't know if she's a Mitchell or if it's her husband's name, Mitchell. Doesn't say on there, does it?
Nope, it says Columbia.
Columbia, okay. Anyhow, I said, isn't it bad to have to check out of a hotel on Sunday afternoon? She said, it sure is. I said, where you from? She says, Baton Rouge. I said, she's, where you from? I said, I'm Opelousas. Well, she said, you might know my uncle, Swatty. I said, Swatty Perro?
There you go.
I said, that's the only Swatty we ever had, I think, in Opelousas. She said, that's my uncle. I said, what about your aunt? Miss Estelle Perro, she says, you know her too? I said, she taught me Chemistry 101 at SLI in 1955. And anyhow, just nice people. I wish I had more time. I could add a little bit, but it looks like we're going into almost a break.
I'm going to sneak in a sponsor here. How about Steamboat Warehouse? Get Mom away from the smell of her own cooking. Get down to Washington, Louisiana, and go by the historic Steamboat Warehouse and enjoy all that great crawfish, oysters, shrimp, steaks, great wine selection, adult libations, beautiful Bloody Marys, and a pickle Zydeco in them. Enjoy them out there right now on the little wharf. The beautiful evenings. The sun doesn't go down till late. You can enjoy the atmosphere and the view. Go by the Steamboat Warehouse in Washington. Tell chef owner Jason Huguet we said hi. And how about Targill Seasoning and Supply? They've got seasoning. They've got kitchen supply, butcher supply. If you're a grocery store looking to stock Targill there, Steve. Wake up. You can get your cutlery, your kitchen supplies, your chopping blocks. We got it. All that type of thing. They'll do custom seasoning blends. They'll do one of their recipes as well if you like. Bring your own artwork. They'll do artwork for you to do the cans. Go by if you're a baker. They have baking classes all summer long. Go by Targill. Give them a call or go to targill.com. And we got to take a 1-minute break, television, and we'll see you folks on the other side of one.
Third quarter.